everyone, welcome back to Connecting Women in Insurance with me, your host, Julie. This podcast is about celebrating extraordinary women throughout the insurance industry. Today, I have with me Miss Denise Miles, who is the Senior Vice President of Claims Management with Trident Reciprocal Exchange. Hey, Denise, how are you?
Hi, I'm doing well. Thank you for having me.
Well, tell me a little bit about what you do and who Denise is outside of work.
Oh, goodness. So I am the SVP of Claims for Trident Reciprocal Exchange. We are a brand new insurance carrier in the Florida market. We are specializing in homeowners insurance. We are rolling out a commercial residential line, and we do have plans for other products in the future.
Oh, nice.
Um, So we have a lot going on. We just started the end of last year, and so my job primarily was just to get the build out the claims department and get everything off the ground. So it's been an exciting challenge.
And a busy one.
Very, very, very busy. So um, I have I'm married. My husband and I are going on 24 years, and
Congratulations.
thank you, thanks. And we have two kids. My son is 20, my daughter is 17.
Nice.
So
Those are good ages.
um, yes, a lot going on at the house and at work, and it's a full plate.
Oh, I bet. Okay, so um, tell me what made you decide on a career in the insurance industry? Like, where did you begin? Because most people don't say, "Oh, I can't wait." Insurance,
hmm
right?
Yes. Yeah, exactly. So I still don't know what I want to be when I grow up, but but I actually started out as a professional chef. I went to culinary school for a couple of years.
Nice.
I cooked professionally. I You loved it, but then decided that it wasn't really for me in the long run. No regrets for all the time I spent, on that side. But I really wanted to continue to pursue my education. So, right after culinary school, I, did 4 years of college. And that's when I sort of shifted gears and started thinking about, some kind of office job because I wanted to pursue a business degree.
Right.
And I actually got referred by a friend. They knew of an admin assistant job at Colonial Penn Insurance, and they thought that I would be a good fit for it. So I applied and I got the job.
Awesome.
And I started with, filing papers and got sort of a little taste of underwriting and some sales. And it was a good fit. I still didn't know that I was going to end up in claims, but that sort of came a little bit later. Unfortunately, they shut down the office of Colonial Penn when GE Financial bought us out, and that Tampa office shut down. A lot of us went over to the Hartford, and so I did make my way to the Hartford, and they didn't really have many openings. And again, I wasn't an insurance adjuster, so I had very few options. And I thought I need to expand myself because I need to grow and do better. I took a job in the mailroom, and I was like, just get me in the door.
Right.
Was pretty much the idea. I'll figure it out from there. I immediately started studying for my adjuster's license, and when I passed the test, I applied, and I think it was because I had made those connections at Colonial Penn, and some of those people were in leadership roles at the Hartford. They knew that they knew my work ethic, and they knew that I was driven, and I had I was trainable. So they decided to take a chance on me and hire me into the claims department, having never adjusted a claim before, and they taught me from the ground up. So it was a very good experience.
Yeah. The as I've said in the past, people in the insurance industry are very, very willing to help you. If you're willing to learn and try new things, they are very willing to help you.
hmm
So after after adjusting, kind of where did you navigate to?
Well, I actually I worked through the 2004 hurricane season
Mhm.
when all of those hurricanes hit Florida, and I was an adjuster at the Hartford and pregnant with my son, and we boarded up our house 4 times. We evacuated
Oh man.
twice. I'm about ready to have a baby. Meanwhile, I'm working, 60 hours a week at the Hartford on paper files. It was completely insane. It was after every storm. It was like hurry up and get back to the office and start adjusting claims again. And when I had my son in November, I thought that's it. Like I can't do this. There's no way. So I left, and it was also because my son did have some issues at birth that continued on, and I realized he needed me.
Right.
I needed to spend more time with him, and he needed various therapies and things of that nature. So I thought like this is my calling. I'm going to be a stay-at-home mom. And I even let my license lapse because I thought I can never go back to that again and still balance a family. It's just not even possible. So I had another child, and I was a stay-at-home mom for 7 years,
Yeah.
actually, and and that was amazing. But I started to get fidgety, and it was calling me back. The claims were like, Denise, we're calling your name.
Yeah, they want to do that to you.
Yes, yes. And but it was kind of a struggle. I thought, I really enjoyed the job. I mean, aside from the fact that all the hurricanes, I mean, that's nobody loves that. But
Right.
I do enjoy the investigative piece. I mean, I really enjoyed claims, and I just was racking my brain. How can I do this and still be a mom and be there for my family and do all the things that I want to do on the home front? And I got the bright idea of deciding to become a field adjuster. I never did it before. Read plenty of reports, knew that I could write one better than most of the ones I've read, and I basically I taught myself how to be a field adjuster. I got a ladder. I started doing like test claims on my own house, writing estimates in Exactimate. I mean, and this was back in the day where you had like the tape measure on the roof, and I'm throwing out the tape measure, and I'm doing, like all of that. Yeah, and I just when I felt comfortable enough, I put out my resume, and a company, an independent adjusting firm, picked me up.
Nice. That is a struggle for any stay-at-home parent, be it a stay-at-home mom or dad, is how do I balance how do I get back into the workforce if you want to, but then how do you balance if you're not a stay-at-home mom or dad? How do you balance work and life? And it is a struggle, but it can be done. Um,
Hmm.
and kudos to you because I would have been laying flat on my face on that roof, hanging on for dear life. Not a
Yeah, it was exciting. I can say that my husband didn't love it. He was I would be pulling up these properties on Google Earth the night before, and I said, okay, this is where I'm going tomorrow,
right.
and some of these neighborhoods were just awful. And he said, okay, call me as soon as you get off the roof, or call me when you're leaving, and because it's a dangerous world out there, so I don't take any of that for granted. And I had my run in with a couple of scary situations, but um, I'm a scrappy little one, so I got it handled.
Well, okay, so did you ever in your career make a mistake or a decision and you thought, "Ah, that's the end of that. I'm going to have to start all over." But you learned a really valuable lesson that helped you in your career later down the road?
um, yeah, I have had some situations where I wish that maybe I hadn't said as much, that maybe I said too much. But on the flip side of that, I think there are times when I knew I held back and I regretted it.
Mhm.
So it's kind of a balance where I don't want to ever think, well, if I say too much, am I going to regret it? Or am I going to just regret not saying enough? And I don't want to have regrets. But I want to be able to learn from it. So it's kind of, and as we get older, um, you know, we learn to sort of balance what we should and shouldn't say.
Yes, that's a good way of putting it.
So, but yeah, because when I think about like, in my 20s or even in my 30s, like, why didn't I stand up for myself, or why wasn't I stronger? And and it almost feels unfortunate that it has to come with age to gain that confidence, and I'd love to instill that in my kids, especially my daughter. And I actually, um, my daughter is pretty confident, and I think that's because I exude the confidence to her, and I think that she has learned from that. So I love that about her. Now, is it going to get her in trouble sometimes? Probably, but like again, live and learn, right?
Right. Children pay attention, they really do, and,
Hmm.
you know, I think when I got into my 40s, my mom was just glad the filter kicked in,
Hmm.
um, because, in my 20s, I didn't filter much, but like you said, on times when you really should have stood up for yourself and you look back and you're like, "Man, I wish I would have said something." You do learn that with age.
Hmm.
You learn to decipher when to open your mouth and when not to, for the most part.
Hmm. Yes. Yes.
Okay, so who who was or is the most influential person in your life and or career, and why?
Well, I have I have so many people that have influenced me, and I think from like for a lot of different reasons.
Mhm.
What I like is to sort of learn learn from various people that I've come across in life, good and bad, and you just take those pieces and build and learn. Like my parents, my work ethic, like
Mhm.
they have amazing work ethic. They're the hardest working people I've ever met in my life, and I know that I get my work ethic from them. Um, I think probably as far as my career goes, and what I've learned in this industry, I would credit a lot of that to Grisel Jimenez. And I worked with her at the independent adjusting firm. We worked together, and then she brought me over to a carrier, one of the smaller Florida carriers, several years back. And I think that it was really what she did was kind of bring me to and like an inner circle, or even just helped explain how things were working like within the company, when really, I mean, I didn't need, there was no reason for her to necessarily share that with me except to help me learn and grow. There was no business purpose for me knowing really any of the inner workings, but I appreciate that so much, and it really it did help catapult me, because as a desk adjuster, really understanding everything that was happening from a business perspective allowed me to be able to catapult into leadership, and eventually, the leadership role that I'm in today.
That's awesome. I mean, that really is. People, like I said, people are willing to mentor you if you
Hmm.
show the effort. Okay, what advice would you give to women listening who want to move forward in their careers, no matter what industry they're in? Like maybe
Yeah,
if they're in a point in their career where they're like, I don't know, whatever. I mean, what advice would you give them?
I think it would be to immerse yourself fully in the particular industry, to really understand everything that's happening, not just the job that's in front of you, but the other functions of the business, and things that are happening within the industry. I think a lot of my growth has come from reading industry journals, and like learning all various things about the industry from outside sources, and just being connected with people, and joining associations, and meeting people within the industry. So it's about your own decision to grow yourself internally, and not just wait for someone to teach you something on the job, but just being proactive to learn everything you can about not only your job, but just the industry in general that you're interested in.
That's really good advice. I like that. Okay, we're going to have a little fun.
Okay.
So I'm going to ask you some questions. I don't want you to think too hard, just answer. Okay. What is what is your favorite hobby or pastime?
Uh, Cooking, fishing, golfing. Can I say three?
Yes. Oh, I did want to ask you this earlier.
Shopping.
What is your favorite dish to cook?
Ooh, that's a tough one because I love to entertain and I'm always making something different. Like this past Sunday, I did a spread for my mom and mother-in-law, and I made lobster rolls, and that was pretty awesome. Made a pineapple upside down cake. I like to do spreads for entertaining. Who doesn't love a good charcuterie board? But I like to make all the different little things that go with it, like make the pesto or make the olive tapenade and, different things like that. My family loves a good taco board. I mean, it's it's not complicated, but it's fun.
It is fun.
Yes.
Okay, so what is the most hilarious fashion trend you secretly love,
Oh, a hilarious fashion trend that I love.
or just something maybe people
I
wouldn't
don't
think
know.
that you would like?
That's a tough one. I don't know. I'm obsessed with Lily Pulitzer. That's what I'm like wearing today. Like I love all the bright colors and everything. So like sometimes maybe I'm a little bit out there with all of my colors, but yeah. So I get a little bit of flack sometimes. Sometimes compliments. Sometimes like what's where's she coming from?
I like it. Okay, if you were a kitchen appliance or an office supply, what would it be and why?
Oh, kitchen appliance or an office supply. Um, wow, that is a tough one. Maybe a blender. I like to mix things up.
That's good. I love that. Okay, what is your biggest pet peeve?
um, Uninformed people. And notice I use the word uninformed because I didn't want to use
Well,
more negative word, but uh, okay, but like let me clarify that. Like if someone should be informed and has the ability to be informed, yet they choose not to and be ignorant about whatever it is they're doing, then that's what frustrates me.
I
Big pet
understand that
peeve.
frustration very much. Okay, if you could instantly master any language, what would it be?
Spanish.
Really?
Yes. I've always wanted to. I mean, I did terrible. I just do not have the ability to learn languages. It's pathetic. I'm lucky to have my husband who can speak some Spanish and get us by in various situations. So and he actually can speak German, and he when we spent some time in Russia, and next thing you know he was picking it up, and I'm like, how do you do that? Like
Some people
like
do that. They just can pick it
some people are naturally have the ability to pick up languages. Not me.
up. Okay, so what direction do you think the next leg of your journey will take you? Like what you've got
Retirement. Sorry.
I'm right there with you. Um, no, but you mentioned how you've built this foundation for the
Hmm.
claims, and so now your next steps moving forward. Kind of what you see in the next 5 years or so for yourself,
Hmm.
and then maybe beyond.
Yeah. Yes. Well, I'm very excited to be a part of Trident and growing a company from the ground up. And it's like kind of like a once in a lifetime opportunity or like a career culmination. I never imagined that I would have this kind of opportunity. I never started out like when I said I was going to be a field adjuster. It wasn't like, you know what? Today I'm a field adjuster, but tomorrow I'm going to be the executive of an insurance company. Like that was never crossed my mind.
Right.
So when I think now about what I've achieved and how it all happened, I think, I'm pretty darn fortunate, but I also, I worked really hard at it too.
Right.
But I as far as like the future goes, I'm just excited, for the next, however many years they'll have me, being a part of Trident and continuing to grow the business and make an impact on in the Florida market and perhaps in other states. Time will tell.
That's super exciting. And you
Hmm.
can, with all your years of experience, you you do literally understand it from the mailroom up. Like
Right.
people joke about
Yes.
that, but you really do understand it from the mailroom up.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
that's huge.
I've done like pretty much every facet, within like just the operations of a company, and that's where, I think I'm never, I don't know what's the right word, but like I don't want to get a big head about like where I am, and like a title. I don't want to be stuck on that because once upon a time I was delivering mail, and we all have to start somewhere. And people who are learning and growing in this business, I want to, help, form them and mold and help them grow and learn within the business and never make them feel less than because they're, a clerk or something like that. Like it's all about just taking that initiative and growing and learning and having people along the way to help you achieve the next level.
Oh yes, and the truth is, you have a really nice title, senior vice president. However, you can't do your job if the clerk is not doing theirs, or the whatever down the line isn't feeding up and doing their job well. So
Right.
it's a circle thing,
Hmm.
it's a full circle. And anyway, I think that's really great because I do believe staying humble is the key to success.
Hmm.
Because you're
Yes.
right, title doesn't matter; it's your character.
Hmm.
Um,
Absolutely.
so we're as we come to a close. Is there anything else you would like to say, or is there a question you wish I'd have asked you and I didn't?
Hmm. Oh gosh, I would. I don't know. I I don't have necessarily have another question, but I kind of just want to convey to really anybody who's listening, men or women, really, that it is important to just be who you are, and work hard, and you don't necessarily have to like raise your hand and say, look what I'm doing over here, am I aren't I so great, look at this amazing work. Like you don't have to do that, because when you are doing good work, you will get noticed, and that's essentially what happened to me. I was just keeping my head down, doing my thing, and people noticed, and I think that it's that that's important for people, especially younger people, and that everyone wants accolades, or everybody gets a trophy and all that, but like just work hard and be who you are, and it'll get noticed.
You're absolutely right, and that is truly the trend I've seen with the women I have interviewed, because they are all very humble, and they didn't raise their hand and say, "Hey, look at me." They just kept working, and they did get noticed. And when they did approach upper management about a raise or a promotion or whatever, they had what it took to back it, and it had
Hmm.
already been noticed. So I think that's excellent advice moving
Hmm.
forward. Denise, I can't thank you
Yes.
enough for joining me today. I am so excited that you did. I really appreciate it.
Well, thank you so much for having me. I really enjoyed this.
All right, and I will I will be getting in touch with you soon. We'll have to do this
Okay.
again.
Yes,
All
for
right.
sure. Thank you.
All
All
right. Bye.
right. Bye bye.
Hey everyone, thank you again for joining us today. I hope you enjoyed this episode with Denise. If you will, like and subscribe so that you don't miss any future episodes, and I will see you all next time.